Hi there guys, Veno here and welcome to another entry in the 3am Rambles with Veno series of videos that I do. I do like to highlight this isn't necessarily indicative of the time in which these videos are shot. It's more of a concept than anything. However, in this particular video, it is currently 20 to 3 a.m. on Thursday the 30th of January 2025. Hopefully you guys are doing really well. I thought I'd do another entry in this series because I do have a couple of updates for you guys. I did say in one of my videos earlier this week that I was bidding on a couple of eBay items. And for context, for anybody, I don't like to say what I'm bidding on eBay anymore because many years ago I got a message on eBay on something that I was bidding on from somebody saying that they sniped me. Now I have a very strong suspicion that, because I'm not really secretive about my username over the internet, maybe I should be a bit more careful about what I reveal and don't reveal, but I got a message from someone on eBay claiming to have sniped an item that I really wanted, actually, and was winning. And I either got a message on YouTube, because back then you could send YouTube messages. Can't nowadays, but you could back then. And I got a eBay message as well as a YouTube message from someone saying they'd sniped me. Now, whether that was truly, if it actually happened, or this person was actually trolling me, I don't know. But I don't like to take the risk anymore. So if I'm actively bidding on something on eBay now, I don't say what I'm bidding on, just in case there's the chance that someone might decide to be an arsehole and snipe me. And there are some bigger YouTubers that have commented on my videos in the past that have said that they have openly spoken about actively bidding on an eBay auction and somebody has sniped it from them. And they're as certain as they can be that them talking about it in a video has caused that to happen. So I like to be a bit more careful when it comes to those sorts of things. But some of you may remember, it was kind of an offhand comment that I made, that I lost an auction last week for 4 Gorillaz albums. I think their debut album, Demon Days, Humans and D-Sides was included in that lot. It's like a 4 or 5 CD or album lot. It was actually a charity that was putting on the auction. I lost that auction. It went to like 15, 20 quid. I lost that auction. I then, because I've been looking for Gorillaz CDs on eBay, and I won an auction the other day, which we'll talk about in a moment, that is Gorillaz related. The eBay is now recommending me, the algorithm is now recommending me auctions that have Gorillaz items in them. And one of the items that recommended the other day was a double CD bundle, or lot, if you will, in which contains the Gorillaz' first 2 albums, which is their self-titled album, Gorillaz, and their second album, Demon Days. I won it today for 99p, postage like $2.99, whatever it is, for like 3 quid, 4 quid. I've won the first 2 Gorillaz albums. And the other one that I won the other day that caused the eBay algorithm to start recommending the auction that I won today was one of the D-Sides. So the D-Sides is this is a Japanese only. Is it the Japanese only release of D-Sides? I've looked at so many different auctions, Gorillaz auctions, over the last week or so on eBay, that I might be getting a bit mixed up with what auction I've been looking at. There was a Japanese exclusive one that I was looking at that has the Obi strip that everyone is sought after, but I think it's signed, so I think that one was going for like 30-40 quid, which, as much as I'd love a signed copy of a Gorillaz album, I'm about to spend 150 quid on that Blur box set I'm paying for that I'm paying for this Friday. So I need to be a little bit more careful about where my other funds go, so to speak. And I think spending 40-50 quid or what it is on a signed copy of D-Sides by the Gorillaz, although nice and would be a really good little collector's item, not on the cards financially for February at this point in time. So, yeah, I won D-Sides, which is basically B-Sides, but for the Demon Days album. And they've also released G-Sides as well. And there's another one they've done. So they've done D-Sides, G-Sides, and I suppose another, like, that sort of album that they've released. So I've now got, in terms of Gorillaz albums, I've got Humans, which I received last week. I've got their debut album. I've got Demon Days and D-Sides. I think I still need to get Song Machine Season 1 is the name of the album. The Now, The Fall. Some people don't consider The Fall a full-on album, but it's listed on Wikipedia. I know it's Wikipedia. Take it with a pinch of salt. But it's listed on Wikipedia as a studio album. Not like D-Sides or G-Sides or any of the live albums or anything. It's listed as an actual studio album. So I'm going to consider it as a studio album for now. So yeah, The Fall, and then Plastic Beach. Did I say Plastic Beach? I don't know if I mentioned I need to get Plastic Beach. And then Cracker Island, which is their latest album that they released in 23. I almost said they released last year, but I need to remember it's now 2025. In my job at work, I sometimes type 2024 still when it's now 25. I stop myself and then type the date in how I'm supposed to type it. Yeah, I was going to say something else. Yeah, I keep saying to you guys that I'm going to do a main camera video, which I am going to do probably this weekend at this point, but we're quite busy at work this week. It's our peak, I'll say that. So it's quite busy. So I basically came home from work today and came upstairs to my bed, watched some YouTube, and then just zonked for 4 hours. I think it was, I zonked in the end. So yeah, that happened. But something else did happen today that I'm not sure if I'm going to reverse this decision or not. We'll see. Maybe I'll seek some advice or guidance from friends and family. Before I do go any further, I am in talks with someone on Facebook Marketplace to get some Samsung earbuds, because there are a specific type of Samsung earbuds that if you get them and you use it with an S23 or an S24, which I've got the S24 Ultra now, as you guys probably know, that it allows you to have high-res audio. And I now subscribe to Tidal. And one of the benefits of Tidal over other music streaming apps like Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, what have you, although I think Apple Music does actually offer a high-res function, but Tidal allows you to have high-res music, which is 24-bit music, or FLAC, as some people might know it as, and the S24 Ultra has a 32-bit DAC, or digital audio converter, inside it. So, and if you pair it with any of the Pro line of buds, you get high-res audio. I remember when the S23, was it the S23? When the S23 came out a couple of years ago, it was an exclusive feature if you used the Samsung Buds Pro 2 on a Samsung device. It had to be a Samsung device, the S23 or up. But I'm pretty certain, as I can be, they've reversed that decision. Because if you go onto the S23 or the S24, the Samsung website for either of those phones, it very much proudly advertises the high-res audio that both those phones offer. And there's no asterisks that I can see, unless someone can look and see. There's no asterisks, there's no caveats that I can see. So maybe they've reversed that decision. I know that a few years ago, it might have been Apple, some other big tech company, made a feature exclusive to their phones with a particular device. And I think some kind of European body got involved and they reversed it. I do know that when it comes to the Samsung watches, that I have a Galaxy Watch 4 Classic, that the Samsung Health features, there's more of them on a Samsung device than there is if you use it with a different phone. Again, my brain wants to say they've walked back on that as well. There's a lot of stuff surrounding mobile phone manufacturers and how locked down they're making devices. So there's some bodies around the world getting involved and going, we don't like this anti-consumer behaviours that you keep employing on your devices. And I know in the console market, similar things have been done. And because of the whole Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard situation with Call of Duty and PlayStation and Sony and all that, that a lot of other big bodies like the FTC and what have you are now taking notice of the mobile phone network. But anyway. So the other thing that I did today is I pledged to a crowdfund campaign on Back-A-Kit or Back-A-It. I think it's Back-A-Kit it's called. And basically, for those of you who may or may not know, the Soul Reaver or the Legacy of Kain games recently got remastered and came out on various platforms. But there's a TTRPG that's on its way. And there's also been a couple of sort of retrospective books and videos and stuff released for the game. And basically, Back-A-Kit, this is official from Crystal Dynamics, by the way. Crystal Dynamics are releasing, who are the original developers of the Legacy of Kain series, if you didn't know, the Soul Reaver series specifically, are releasing a couple of books. One is the rules to the TTRPG, and one is a Legacy of Kain encyclopedia. I've backed it. I was hoping that once I'd backed it, I'd be able to opt for a stretch pay or a monthly pay arrangement. That hasn't popped up, and it's not cheap, I'll say that. It does mean I might have to reconsider my purchases at the end of February, because the campaign ends on the 28th of February at 10 a.m. PST. So I might have to reconsider what I buy at the end of February. But at the moment, I've backed it, and we'll see where things go from there. I've backed the top tier, so if you do go onto the website and look it up, you'll quickly see which one I've backed. We'll see. Haven't quite decided whether I'm going to stick with it or unpledge. We'll see. Maybe I'll message the campaign, Crystal Dynamic, I think it's Crystal, whoever's running the campaign, the campaign runners, I'll message them going, are you going to offer a stretch thingamabob? We'll go from there, basically. But until next time, guys, I'm going to leave you and love you and leave you and love you. I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ra.